evening and welcome all to tonight's session where we'll be looking at how to use MetaMask, right? How to actually download, install, and use MetaMask to connect to your DeFi platforms, right? So first step, I think should be to download MetaMask. It's easy enough, right? Maybe Julius here. So simply go to MetaMask. For it, it's metamask.io. All right. So once you have it there, you download MetaMask. All right. So MetaMask is a crypto wallet. So you download corresponding to your browser, the browser you're using. Now, MetaMask do have an app for Android, right, and iOS as well, I believe. The last time I checked, I wasn't sure if they had the swap feature. So the last time I checked, the swap feature was not there. So I don't know. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure if that is ready at this point. So next is I will install. Right. I think I've downloaded. Should be going somewhere here in the downloads. No, it's mathematics. Let me just go direct to install MetaMask for Chrome. Okay, so install as an extension and you add to Chrome, right? Right there, add the extension. So that pop-up comes, you add that extension. And I believe, there we go. So it's already added. Okay, so how you know it's added is if you see this extension icon here. Okay, it's right here. So if you click it, you're able to see extensions here, and one of them is MetaMask. So MetaMask is the one with the fox icon right there. Right? And you'll notice you can also remove from Chrome from here, but also you can remove as an extension from here. Okay, simply go to your extensions right here, click the 3 dots, remove. Okay, say that's good. So if I want to load it, I simply click that icon, right? I'll say get started, right? Now it will ask me if I already have an existing seed phrase, right? The 12-word seed phrase from an existing wallet that I can use to import, all right, that wallet to my MetaMask wallet right here. So for now, I'll create a new wallet, right? So I click there to help us improve MetaMask. There's a few things here that they're asking usage of data and what to send and whatnot. And they also promise not to collect your keys, IP address, and never to sell your data. So you agree to the terms. And your extension, MetaMask extension, you usually be accessible through a small password. Right? Now this password is not your private keys. Please remember that. It's simply a password, a lock for the app, so to speak. Right? So your private keys are something else entirely. So we're not there yet. It's the same way you have your phone, you have a lock for your phone or for all the apps on your phone. Okay. So I'll go ahead and create a password here. Let me see what to use. Just a small one. Right, so I'll confirm. Right, I've read and agreed to the terms, then you create. Okay, so once you've created, of course, now you have your secret backup phrase that's not revealed yet. All right. So what I'll do, I'll reveal them for the purpose of showing this demonstration. I won't be using this wallet anyway. All right. I'll click to reveal those keys. Right. So the next thing you do is you write down these keys. Right. Very important here. You note them down on a piece of paper. Don't take a photograph. Don't write them down on your email. Don't write them down on your phone. Please write them down on a piece of paper, right? So these are mine. Vast warfare. So in essence, whoever has these keys, this backup phrase here can access your money. So make sure it's not shared with anyone, right? So fish, flip, onion, and guide, right? We go next, right? And you have tips for safekeeping here. You've been told store this phrase in a password manager like 1Password. Okay, I personally don't go for that. Write it in a piece of paper, secure it in 3 different locations, right? And store each in 2 to 3 different locations. You can also memorize, but of course, there's the risk of forgetting with memorizing alone, right? Okay, so I'll go next. They'll ask me to confirm these backup phrases, then I'll simply click them in the order in which I wrote them down, the order in which they appeared. So the first was hunt, million, right? So I think people with photographic memory, this might be easier for them. Warfare. Okay, so you go slowly, make sure you get them correctly. Fish, flip, canyon, and guide. So once you have them, you confirm. Okay, and you now have your wallet. All right, you're all done. Click that. Now, MetaMask has this feature where you can swap inside the wallet, right? And usually to swap, you need liquidity, right? When you're swapping from one token to another, you need people to provide that liquidity. So what happens is it uses some sources of liquidity, okay? Some exchanges or automated market makers like Uniswap, Total, Paraswap, right? Works. Swap 1inch. Some of these are well known, mostly because of the airdrops, and more are coming soon, right? So I don't want to swap at this time, so I'll close, right? Now, when you observe this wallet as it looks here, okay, you can see it's an extension. So I can access it directly through this link or through here as a pop-up, right? So usually it will appear like this. So I hope everyone can see this pop-up on my right. Let me know if the sharing is enabled to be able to share that. All right, so we can proceed because mostly we'll be using this one. All right, so let me know. Someone can just type and let me know if you can see this rectangle right here. Is it visible? All right. Good. So next we go to features of this wallet. So we won't use this. Let's use this because this is what you'll be using mostly. Okay. So the most important thing here to start with is to understand where everything is set, right? The first thing to get here is this notifier here, or this label here. If you click it, it tells you that the default network for right? MetaMask is, and for these Ethereum transactions, is the Ethereum mainnet. Okay, that's important. We'll come back to this when we're connecting to other networks like the Binance Smart Chain, right? We'll come and add it here. Okay, but for now we're interested with Ethereum mainnet, which is the default. All right. To the right here, if I click, I can then see my accounts, right? Now, account one is the default one that I used to open, right? It gave me an Ethereum address, okay? That address is right here. So let me again go to click it. That address is right here, okay? So if I copy this, let me use that. Let me use this space here. I can paste my Ethereum address right there. Okay, so this is an ERC20 address. Okay, so if you have any tokens, any Ethereum, any ERC20 tokens, you've gotten an airdrop for ERC20 tokens, all that, this is the address you send to. Okay, so don't send other tokens from other networks and blockchains to this address. Okay, this is very important. Let's go and continue. Right here, you might decide to open or create a new address or a new account, right? For different or various purposes. So you can do that. If I click to create account, you can either create or import. If you have a trust wallet, you can import your private keys. Okay. For now, let's go and create and say this is account 2. Account 2. Let me admit someone here. There are a few people in the waiting room. All right. So you can say this is account 2. Okay. And I'll create. Okay. So now if I go back here, you can see I have 2 accounts and I can navigate between the 2 of them and look at the addresses. Okay. Look at the addresses. If I copy this address now, and then I come here and I'll do this and paste. You see this address is different from this. This ends in 2DE, this ends in CFP. They're distinct addresses and accounts, right? It's good also to break up your accounts in this manner, but not too much such that you start forgetting which is which, right? So I go back to the MetaMask. All right. Also import, you can connect your hardware wallet, right? There's a bit of settings here, right? We'll also come to this when we start tinkering with adding other networks and all that. But basically, these are the usual settings you find in some wallets, right? Currencies and all those kinds of things. All right. This point, I'll then go to close that. This point, I'll go to this panel here, right? This center panel here, right? And then I'll click the 3 dots, right? Expand view, of course, brings you to this view right here. Okay, I'm not a fan of that, but some people might find that to be easier for them to use. Okay, so I like to operate inside this pop-up. So if I click account details, for example, it'll give me the address that's active for the account that's active. I can change the address name, account name right here, right? I can change the account name right there. It gives me a QR code. I can view this on Etherscan. Now, as you come into DeFi, you'll realize that Etherscan is almost the backbone of most of these things. Etherscan, if I click it, will take me to that particular address, right? And it will give me a few summary of it somehow. Okay. Now, Etherscan is it's a website that helps you observe or scan, as the word suggests, whatever is happening on the Ethereum network. So if it's tokens that are being listed, you can access contracts and from those websites or whatever it is, and come and view them on Etherscan. If it's your own portfolio of tokens, you can come and look at it on Etherscan. Right? If you want to see a record of all your transactions, Etherscan will tell you. If you want to verify the name or the address of a token, Etherscan will do that to you. If you want to track certain transactions, Etherscan will do that for you. All right. So once I click Etherscan from that wallet, it brings me to my address right here. Okay. Again, it can give me the QR code. This is a shortcut to quickly. Also, it can copy. Right. It tells me my balance and the value of Ether inside there. Right. No transactions so far. You can see the transactions have certain fields, age, block, from this to this, the value and the fees I paid for that transaction. Analytics as well. So as more and more data comes into your wallet, and as your address processes more and more transactions, you'll find yourself in need of looking at analytics and such things, right? But let's get to that later. All right. I'll go back to this pop-up. Okay. And after viewing on Etherscan, I can look also at connected sites, right? So for now, I don't expect any sites to be connected. The wallet is fresh. None has been added onto this. Now, these sites are some of the popular DeFi sites you've been hearing about. So I'll go and look for one of them, right? So one of these sites can be app.uniswap.org, right? So Uniswap in short. So I want to look at Uniswap and see what I'm trying to do here. Now, Uniswap, on the other hand, is not a wallet, right? I know most people confuse Uniswap. They wonder why do I need Uniswap if I have MetaMask and all those kind of things, okay? So one thing you'll have to now come to terms with in DeFi, a lot of things are separate, and you have to manually connect different aspects for the ecosystem to work for you, right? For you to have flow in maybe getting a transaction and all that, right? So Uniswap is what you call an automated market making platform, right? So this is in essence an exchange, but truly it's an exchange of exchanges, technically, right? So what happens here on Uniswap is people provide, right, pairs or liquidity for certain pairs, right, that other people can come and swap between the tokens in the pair. All right. So let me start in the context of a normal exchange. Remember, these are somehow decentralized exchanges, right? So what a normal exchange like maybe ftx.com or Binance will do is they have market makers, liquidity providers, right, who give you, right, bids and asks. So if you want to buy, you have your dollars in the bank, in the wallet, or in the exchange wallet. Someone else will be able to provide you. Let's say you're buying Ethereum, they'll give you Ethereum on the other side. Who's giving you this Ethereum? Of course, it's sellers on the other side. But what if there are no sellers? What if there is no someone else who's looking to sell Ethereum? A market maker will provide that liquidity. So usually, this is a pain point for new exchanges when they're coming up. Because for me to come and trade in an exchange, I need to know there's liquidity. that can be provided for me to access the tokens I want to access. But then again, liquidity providers will not come to a new exchange that has no volume, right? So sometimes you'll find exchanges doing their own market making and such things. And sometimes it's tricky and it's a suspicious activity because people might say, oh, these persons are trading against their own clients, or such instances. And a few other instances, or of wash trading, things like those, which centralized exchanges have been accused of, price manipulation, and such things. Right? Now, decentralized exchanges provide a more unique way, right? Permissionless way of market makers being able to provide that liquidity to anyone who needs it and then pocketing the fees themselves. You see, in a centralized exchange, the people who pocket most fees are the owners of the exchange, right? And they'll dictate how much in fees they want to give a cut in terms of rebates and all that to market makers. And market makers have also, they're told, you can't be a market maker here unless you have liquidity was maybe 5 million and above, 1 million and above. There's certain rules like those. And also you have to do KYC, you have to provide your details and all such things. So DeFi, and in terms of automated liquidity, market making, right? Market makers, they do not need all that. Fees are set on smart contracts, right? Which manage pools. Okay, so what we have here, Uniswap, we'll have a lesson on Uniswap. What we have here is a platform for both market makers to provide the public, right, using pools to provide liquidity for the public to be able to transact between one token and another and pay some fees to those liquidity providers permissionlessly. So this is an exchange, but since it has many pools, it's an exchange of exchanges. All right. Now, for me to be able to take part in this swapping here, I need to connect my wallet. Right. So if I click connect wallet, there's several wallets that are provided. Right. Wallet Connect is popular. So if you have a Trust wallet, you'll usually see Wallet Connect somewhere there, and they'll connect, right? So all these things have been built slowly over the years. This was much more simplistic. Right now it's matured and they've made money and they've been able to develop into something that looks simple enough, but a lot of work went into this. So if I click MetaMask, right, it will pop up that extension. Then it will ask me which account do I want to connect to. So let's pick account 1, right? I want to connect account 2. So on account 1, I will click next. All right. Now I will connect to permit it to work. Right. Now, remember in centralized exchanges, I don't need to do all this. I simply need to load my account after opening that exchange account with my email. The wallet is there and everything is there. But on DeFi, I'm the one who is in control with of my funds now. Okay, so I think we can move to the next thing. Okay, so the account here is connected with MetaMask. All right. Okay, so once I connect my account, right, which I can disconnect from this extension here. If I go to MetaMask, I can see the sites that are, the sites that are connected. If I load that pop-up, let it load, you can see the sites that are connected to Uniswap or to this particular. Sorry, let me change the account. Account 1 is what I connected. So I can see the connected sites right here, up .uniswap.org. So I'll disconnect, right? And then when I click connect, it pops MetaMask, brings me back to that, that MetaMask pop-up. I'll select the account, click next, and connect, right? So I hope I'm not too quick, right? So we'll continue. Now, after I've connected the account, right, the account needs to have something small or a lot, depending on you now, okay? So if I have Ethereum in that account, okay, Ethereum right here, it's by default the one that comes up here. I can then look for a token, right, that I can swap my Ethereum to that token, all right? Now, if I say max here, I don't have anything in this account, okay? Now, if I want to know in the website, in the class, in the community, we always saying, this token is listing, this token is listing, we need to buy, and all these kind of things. Now, what listing means on Uniswap is freely, permissionlessly, even you can add your own token up here. But what is usually lacking, or the most important thing, is liquidity, right? Remember, if I want to swap from Ethereum to that token, that pool, right, the smart contract needs to accept my Ethereum, and it needs to know the price or the value of that token equivalent to the Ethereum I've provided. All right, so let's go and pick one random token, right? Which one listed today? Superfarm just listed today. In fact, this evening. Remember, we all did, I think we all did, most of us, anyway, in the community, we did apply for the whitelist, right? So applied for several Polka startup projects. Polka Starter is a launch platform. We'll look at it later, but I want to go there so that I can pick the Superfarm address directly. Now it needs me to connect my wallet. I'll connect. So usually when you connect into some of these DeFi systems, they'll ask you to connect your wallet, right? So they can communicate in a simple way. So Superfarm just listed. You'll remember Umbrella listed a few weeks ago. Some of us were lucky to get on it. I did a good number of X, 90X and all that. Some of these others like Superfarm, we applied to Unido, we applied to Public Mint, all this. So Polka Starter is a launch platform where people go to raise for liquidity and investment in their tokens. Remember, we said Uniswap is an exchange of exchanges. So those exchanges we're talking about are pools. People need to provide both a certain number of Ethereum and a certain number of, in this instance, let's say, Superfarm token, and give a mechanism or the smart contract will find a way of telling you now what's the price of that token relative to the Ethereum that is locked inside. So it's a ratio, right? People who are better at this kind of maths will be better, in a better place to explain this. So, right now, what people here are doing when you're going to a public sale, right, is you're helping those developers and that company or that project raise, okay? So that we're helping them raise a number of Ethereum that they will take and lock in their pool together with a certain number of those tokens, and hence that ratio. For example, Polka Markets, I think they were saying, was it Polka Markets or what was it? They were saying one Ethereum is 15,000 Polks, right? So right then you can even calculate the value of Polks on pre-sale per dollar on the dollar, right? So you know the value of Ethereum is maybe 2,000 and you're getting 15,000 Polks. So how much is $1? How much is one token worth in dollar, right? Simply take the 2,000 worth of Ethereum and divide by the 15K and you get what one token's value is in dollars, right? And then after you've provided the pools and you claim your token, so not all the money is given, not all the Ethereum goes into the pool. Some goes to the developers and all that. So there's a certain allocation of all that, yeah? But some is locked. Now, once it's locked in that pool, and then the liquidity is provided, and the project has listed on Uniswap, then you who did not get on the pre-sale and you want to buy that token, what do? You come and look for it on Uniswap, right? So that pool will be available. So what we'll do, we'll go to that particular project that listed right now called Superfarm, okay? Let's see if we can find the address, because this is about addresses now, right? Okay, so we can see Superfarm. Let's see. Token distribution and all that. So this is the address. Let's go find this address in the Uniswap. Let's see if we can find it right here. Okay. Now I've clicked, all right? I've simply searched it. I hope I didn't go too quickly, right? So you don't want to pick these addresses from anywhere on the internet. You need to go to the exact official websites and the official Telegram groups, right? So, and take it from the admins. So go to the pinned messages and look for the contract addresses there. If you want to confirm that address, we talked about Etherscan. Simply come to Etherscan and search, paste it, right? It's right here, okay? Paste it and search it, okay? It will come and the summary will tell you this token tracker is Superfarm ticker Super. And you can see the people who are interacting with it. This just listed a few hours ago. It's done really well, okay? All right, you can see there's some many transactions, 1,500 transactions, right? People interacting with that pool, taking in and out, adding liquidity, taking out liquidity, swapping from Ethereum to Super, from Super to Ethereum, and all that. Anyway, now that we have the address, let's come to Uniswap. We select it, paste, and import. So usually when you see it from CoinGecko, you have some legitimization, and you've also seen on Etherscan, and you've also gotten it from a launch platform like Polkastarter, and you can go to the website itself and get the address there, right? Okay, so we'll come to the issues of whitelisting and pre-sales later. That's a bit down the road. So I import so that I have it ready here on MetaMask, on Uniswap. So you're given a few warnings. All these projects, most of them are in beta, and anyone can create a token. So please, there's no official person to audit and don't do this. Even the auditors themselves will give you warnings, right? So in DeFi, please make sure you do your due diligence. So you understand, and you have Superfarm right there. Now, if I had Ethereum, which we, in tomorrow's lesson, we will load up some Ethereum in one of these wallets and swap from there. But if I had Ethereum, I'd now, if I don't have Superfarm, I'd now write, I want one Ethereum, then I'll convert to Super, right? So one Super is 1410. One Ethereum is 1410 Super, right? If you look at what guys were getting it on the pre-sale, you'll see that they are very much now rich people, right? So you are being given, where is it? How many super were people getting? Should be, okay, that information should be on, let me see. So yeah, here you go. So 1 Ethereum, right? You are getting 76,923 super. But the maximum you could buy in the pre-sale after you got whitelisted was 0.626 worth of super. So anyway, let's say by magic you got 1 Ethereum, okay? So what happens is when you come now to Uniswap, right, you can see the value has, right? The value has done what? Who can tell us? Has the value of super increased or decreased? So 1 Ethereum in the pre-sale, you are getting 76,000, I think 79,000, 76,900. But right now, with that 1 Ethereum, if you got this in the pre-sale, right? So we'll take this here. So you bought using 1 Ethereum. Let's come to Uniswap. All right, so I want to say I have that number. Look at the number of Ethereum you're getting. That's why we insist, please apply for whitelist. Go and look for pre-sales, right? Who knows, this thing might not last long, okay? From 1 Ethereum, you got 49 or 48 in this case, 48 Ethereums. How much is that, right? Ethereum USD, yeah, that's the profit, of course. We're not saying you got that many, but we're saying there's the math anyway. So the profit would have been $81,000 from $2,000 worth of Ethereum, right? So you see, this is, sorry to say, it's crazy, stupid. It's stupendous. You know, it's just, I don't know, right? It's insane, as Jackie says, right? And people have gotten on whitelist from this very community. So I think 3 people now told me today they got Vortex. One person, one in our community from Nigeria got Public Mint. Right. So let's go and look at charts at this point. Right. Let's go look at charts. So in DeFi, unlike in centralized exchanges, you won't go to tradingview.com and find that ticker symbol. No. So what you do, there are platforms that provide on-chain, because this data is on-chain, on the blockchain. They look at the pools and look at the prices of how the prices are changing based on interactions, right? So one of them is DEX tools, right? So you've seen us use dextools.io, right? So this is a popular one. So it's not an exchange. It's a chatting platform, right? It gives you real data from on chain. So I'll click launch app, right? So people should know in DeFi, if someone is providing a service like, oh, I'm doing analysis for on-chain data, and they likely launch a token. So guess what? DEX tools have a token, right? So that token is used to give you premium features on this and such things, okay? And such things. But you don't need to pay anything to get the basic features, which are important, right? As you begin, right? And right now the price of DEX has gone up anyway, crazy. So people who are in here about last year, they were getting the premium version of this cheaper because they could buy DEX tokens. Anyway, how do I search this super farm so I can see it on DEX tools as a chart, which is what we used to. Again, copy address, come to DEX tools and look for it here, search right here. It will search, it will spool and give me that ticker, right? Wrapped if versus Superfarm, and it will pull a chart for me. It will also show me top 10 projects right here. So usually when a token lists and it's very hot, it will come up here, right? Now look at this. As much as we're seeing how much this has gone up, imagine it had gone even further up. It's at 1.2 and we're saying you got 89,000 from one Ethereum. This is even on a dip, right? So what we mean is it had gone even as far as how many percentage points? It's dropped 60%. So whatever we got right here is a dip, 60% lower. It's life-changing money. This is 60% lower than where it went to a few hours ago when it listed, right? So here's how you play it. Now, when you got it on the pre-sale, you can decide, oh, I'll sell in the first minute on, but sometimes it's good to wait and see how the chart plays. Also, it's also important to cash out because it's free money anyway. Cash out, use whatever you want to do that. Or you can cash out half and then leave the rest to play around because they do also continue upward. We're in a bull market. As long as Ethereum is going up, these ecosystem tokens that are on Ethereum will probably keep going up, not investment advice. Let's look at paid, which was one, it's always here. So paid is a token that one of the first tokens to launch on this launch platform here, Polkastarter, where people go to raise for pools, right? So you can see past projects. So you can see, I think paid or somewhere here, if I'm not wrong. Featured pools, view all pools. There's so many, and this is simply one of them. This launch platform is simply one of them. For those who got on Vortex, it's happening on DAO starter, right? So paid is here. Paid was one of the best. It had one Ethereum was giving you 333,000. So let's go look for paid address and see how it's performing, right? Okay. Come here, look for paid, right? Always paste the address, don't write the name. People create their own tokens and you might find yourself exchanging for tokens that do not exist, that they're not the real thing. All right, so it will spool, give it time, it's reading from the chain. Then once it comes, I want to go, paid is a bit old, I want to go to the 1 hour chart and I want to show you something. Look at that. When it listed down here, right, and where it went to, now we're not even talking about the pre-sale people. We're only talking about people who bought after it listed. Right now, it's 850%. It had gone as much as, I think, 1,500%, right? Now you can imagine how much that was made by people who got in on the pre-sale. Let's go and check. Information is right here. One Ethereum was giving you 33,000. Of course, there is a max allocation, and the more people get into DeFi, the smaller this allocation gets. So you can see paid people are getting 0.43. I think the price of Ethereum was a bit lower back then, but still the same. Right, so one Eth was giving you 33,000 paid. Let's see on Uniswap before we go to. So let's import paid. So you should now start getting used to this process and see 33,300 is giving you 66 Ethereum. And this project has stayed for so long, right? This project has stayed for so long. Okay. All right. Also remember, this is two-sided. This sword is sharp and the blade is sharp on both sides. If you come and buy this thing here because you think it will keep going up, you'll be shocked. You buy it here, you'll be shocked. These things, if you bought here up to now, you are 40% down. If If you bought here, you went down, want to stay, and all that. That's why we're saying there are various strategies to trade DeFi. There's sniping. Sniping is getting it immediately it's listed. You want to get it. But that day is gone. That was good last year during DeFi summer. Now you can't snipe because bots are jumping onto those trades and pushing the price up before you blink. All right. All right. So now what happens is you want to apply. I know the chances are so low. I know it's understandable. But you want to apply to these whitelists. If you don't get one, you have to keep applying, right? Because the upside is somehow very, very advantageous for you, and the downside is almost non-existent. Now, that's for Polka Starter project. That's the wave right now. Polka Starter this, Polka Starter that. So for the people who got to Vortex, it's happening on DAO, on the DAO Starter, which is another platform like this, but not as big currently as this. Now, there's also another part to this. People are doing, most of the people coming to DeFi, we're not so rich. We're not, we want convenience when people want to make money, you see. But now with Ethereum, the gas fees are high. Now, gas refers to the fees you pay for interaction inside the networks, right? Now, if I'm sending you Ethereum, I'm likely to pay small transaction fees. Actually, Ethereum is not that expensive compared to maybe Bitcoin and others to send from one address to the other. But you understand it's a platform that is used for other platforms to build on. So there's a lot of complexity that's involved. For example, simply launching your project on Polka Starter, for you to interact with it, there's a lot that goes to it. Coding for for the pools, the smart contracts, and all those kinds of things, and having an ecosystem where people have to engage on the chain. Remember, all this is decentralized. In essence, this is raising capital for your business. In traditional finance, TradFi, people simply write you a check or send you money in a bank, and that's it, a few digits. But on DeFi, people actually have to code for all those processes. 100,000 people are applying to raise on our platform. How do we manage that? Using software on chain. So all those things have to be considered. So that complexity is what makes the gas prices go up, right? It's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, that's driving people to seek alternatives. And now we will go to, although we will not cover it right now, go to the Binance Smart Chain, right? Which is looking to solve the problem of high fees, right? Now, there's a sacrifice here. When you're moving to Binance Smart Chain, things are not as centralized that much, right? It's a bit more, they're not as decentralized as with Ethereum. So you're giving that up, but most people are not really concerned with that. People want to make money quickly and move on. Yeah, do their thing, pay their bills, whatever it is, change their lives. So there's an ecosystem right there on Binance Smart Chain that's happening also at breakneck speed. DeFi is now swinging between Ethereum, mainnet, and Binance Smart Chain in DeFi. There are other underdogs, like today Radium launched. I don't know if most of you have seen that. So Radium is a project by people now who also are dealing with DeFi on another front. Solana, right? You can create smart contracts, and they're saying they have good speeds and all that. So things are coming up every day, and it is very wide. So let me tell you something. If this is from my experience now, if you want to take part in this thing, you have to go all in. You cannot say, okay, I'll be coming, checking this out one day a week, then I go do my other things, then come back, come to class and see what people are saying, apply whitelist here and there. It won't work. It's simply that simple. It will not work. This thing has a steep learning curve. You have to sieve through the information yourself, right? So you have to spend the time. There's no such shortcut, right? Now, if you can find a community where people are doing chunks and bits and chunks of work and then feeding to the community the distilled information, that's a big plus, which is what David and I are trying to do with Genesis, right? So if we can all maybe digging to this, and there's many things I've overlooked here, and there's some people more experienced than I am who can even add on to this education. Yeah. But hold on to something, be an expert at it before the time runs out. No one knows if DeFi will be here 6 months from now or where the opportunities will be. New information is coming up every other time. So we need as a community to crowdsource our minds so we can move together in that direction, right? Of course, now tomorrow I'd like us to look at Binance Smart Chain and how to connect onto that. And then from there, we know we have the Ethereum ecosystem here. We have raising for pre-sales. We have the listings and how to trade on Uniswap, how to convert from one to the other. We have that. Then we have the Binance part. Look at the ecosystem. What are the launch pads there? What are the pre-sales there? What are the listing kinds there? Then once we're on the same page, at least with the basics, now people can contribute however they want to the community.